Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Myself Kuhu Sarkar. So, as you had already finished your exam, which was on 21st August, this video will be on analysis of second shift English question paper. I had already made a video of morning shift and this is about the second shift. So as you know that as UGC net always follow, they made first shift morning shift little easy or moderate and second shift always tough or hard. So this time also they follow the same rule and the second shift is was little hard or you can say harder than first shift, and in this shift also they focus on Indian literature most, then many questions of from chronology. So when I type these questions I have to use the word chronology in every questions. I don't know why they follow this chronology and fact based, why they follow the fact based questions. So let's see these questions. And as I heard a news that in some centers they cancel the exam, so you don't have to worry about that, and because you can chill because you had already done your hard work, right? So let's see. And this video will be particularly help of these students who are going to appear for the second for the December exam, okay? Because if you know this question you can have an idea about the questions and the concepts, that how UGC net ask you question, how they trick you. You can your prepare for the examination in that way. So let's see these questions. And as I already told you that they are now focusing on Indian literature, so you should know the Indian literature. And I had already made a video about Indian literature from ancient to modern. I could not finish the whole series, so this time I will finish this series of Indian literature, and I will also make videos on Dalit literature, because this time they ask chronology of Dalit literature. Many there are two or three questions from Dalit literature, so they are now focusing on Dalit literature and also in other areas of Indian literature, so you should know this. And this time they focus on Nobel laureate, then some questions from American literature, Australian literature. So let's see these questions one by one. Okay, so first R.K. Narayan's work chronology. So if you watch my videos you can see that I made long videos about these Indian writers, and you should know these writers works in chronology, okay? And maybe I make some trick also that you how you can remember these works in chronology, and you should know this. Maybe it's what it was boring, but nowadays they are following this strategy all only, that they are giving you the chronology, the Dalit writers birth chronology. I don't know why they're giving this type of questions. So Arkanara's work chronology, there are questions from Indian writers birth chronology, as they always did. Then Salman Rushdie's works chronology from Grimace, and then Midnight Children. Okay, so they gave question from Salman Rushdie's work chronology. Then matching questions like Magi Night with Mahesh Dattani and other writings also. So matching questions are little good because you can score good marks in matching questions, because if you know one or two works with their writers you can match it, okay? So Magi Night was in the option. It was a matching question. Then theory term match, so theory term match they always ask, and this time also they ask a theory term with their propaganda. Then unconscious collectiveness, so there are two questions from unconscious collectiveness, and who gave it? Lacan. So there are questions from two or three questions from Lacan or psychoanalysis theory. Then Plato's view on poetry. So this question is wrong, because um, there are options which are wrong. So maybe if you attempt this question, they will give you the answer. Sorry, they will give you the marks. So Plato's view on poetry, two or three questions on Dalit literature, Dalit writers. There are questions like who wrote Akarmasi. Then there are questions of Dalit writers. You have to arrange that in chronology. There are other questions also from Dalit literature. Then Absalom Absalom, written by whom? William Faulkner. Then reading comprehension was on suspicion. Okay, so it was little hard. Reading comprehension, there are one poem and one paragraph, so it was on suspicion. Then there are terms like catastrophe and their definition, and you have to match catastrophe and other terms also there. Catastrophe definition matching. Then there are chronology of Madhusudan Datta, Dirojio, Torudat, Sarojini Naidu, and other writers. Okay, so if you see my video, I made these writers in chronological order, and it took me so much time. It took so much time to make this PDF, because I have to arrange these writers in chronology. Because if you are reading Indian literature now, and if you are not reading it in their chronological order, you are doing wrong. Because what I also did previous, I read these writers because I like their writings. I read their writings and then read their works, the summary of their works. But nowadays they are not giving you questions like that. They only focusing chronology, Indian writers chronology, birth chronology, works chronology. So maybe it was too much boring for you, but you have to read it. If you want to crack this exam, you have to read it in chronological order, and you have to read it. You have to know the publication date, their writers publication date, their birth date. Okay, birth year. So they gave questions because they are from same period, Madhusudan Datta, Direjio. And if you don't know their birth year, it will confuse you. Okay, so you have to understand that you have to read it in that chronological order. Okay, then there are easy question like Neander, whom. So Neander, you know that Dryden himself is Neander. Then Kit Kat club members, and they will be, there are questions like odd one out. You have to out who are not members of Kit Kat club. So Richard Steele, Joseph Edison, William Congreve, John Hornbrook, they are members of Kit Kat club. Then Nobel Prize year with their winner, mean Nobel laureate, and the publication, the year when they got the Nobel Prize. So there are Nadine Gordimer, Olsoenka. Nadine Gordimer won the Nobel Prize in 1991, Olsoenka 1986, J.M. Coetzee 2003. So they are now giving you fact-based questions. So you have to know the date when they won the Nobel Prize, because this question many students will do wrong, right? They know that yes, Nadine Gordimer get Nobel Prize, also got Nobel Prize. And in, as I remember, in previous question, when the first exam happened in June, they gave question from Olsoenka. So they are focusing on these writers, these Nobel writers, and you have to know when they got the Nobel Prize. Okay, then there are questions like language terms like signifier, and with the definition matching question: signifier definition, signified definition, langu definition, parallel definition. So they always ask these langu parallel question. They are in any shifts. You can get this question from langu parallel, and you have to know what is langu, what is parallel. Then there are chronological questions like Caxton printing press publication year, And when Wycliffe translated Bible, Gutenberg Bible, and they gave you and you have to arrange it in chronology. So you have to have the deep knowledge that when Wycliffe translated, you have to know the Bible translation is very much important, and when the first Bible came to publish, when the second Bible published. Then there is a question of Mary Wollstonecraft that they gave some options, and which are not Wollstonecraft's works. So there are questions like right to man, right to women, so you have to odd one out. Then questions from magazine. In first shift also they gave question from magazine or journals. Then Mikhail Bakhtin's terms, as I made a video maybe about Mikhail Bakhtin. No, I did not. I have to make a video about Mikhail Bakhtin. So they gave questions from heteroglossia and polyphony and with their definition. Then absurd poems definition. Absurd, there are some statement wise question and you have to tick the right. So there are some definition, some facts about absurd poems. In first shift they gave questions of absurd theater, and in second shift absurd poems. Then questions about Raymond Williams works. So Raymond Williams particular work, they gave questions, statement based questions from Raymond Williams works. Then metaphysical movement. Metaphysical movement, who are the members of metaphysical movement. Then Shakespeare's works chronology, like Winter's Tales, then Much Ado About Nothing. These works you have to arrange it in chronology. Then Lyotard's work. Lyotard's work, there is a question about statement wise question of Lyotard's works. Then E.M. Foster's which work has the theme of homosexuality, so it will be Morris. Okay. Then graphic writers, there are questions from graphic writers. Who are graphic writers? They gave some writers and you have to tick the right one. Then gay writers. Okay. Then Mary Shelley took her quotation from which book of Paradise Lost? So there is a quotation of Mary Shelley's work, that God you made me, this type of quotation, and this is famous also. So they ask you that from which book of Paradise Lost, which book of Milton's Paradise Lost Mary Shelley took the quotation. Then Agatha Christie's work, like Sherlock Holmes, maybe there is a question about Sherlock Holmes appeared in which work, work of Agatha Christie. Then questions on hypothesis, questions on research methodology. Then Toni Morrison's work chronology. So they ask questions of Toni Morrison's work chronology, The Beloved, then other works like others works. Okay, Songs of Solomon. Then Achebek's works chronology. In first shift also they ask question from Achebe, and in second shift also they ask question from Achebek's work in chronological order. And in first exam also they ask question from Achebe. So if you follow this PIQ, you can understand that where you have to focus, where you have to give more focus for your preparation, because they are in first when they ask you in the in first exam, they focusing on Shakespeare, they focusing on HEB, they focusing on these African writers. Though online and offline have huge difference, and as I already know that offline questions was much easier, but online questions they will follow the same pattern which they follow earlier. Much difficult. Then there is a easy question of Bankim on first novel, first Indian novel, and it is Bankim Chandra's work, right? Okay, so that's all as I can remember. And if you know more If you have questions or queries, you can ask in the comment section, and if you remember other questions, you can write it down on the comment section. So thank you for giving your time, and I will make videos on theories on Indian literature first, and other European literature also. So please stay with me, and thank you for giving your time.